Well, we should be back now. And I hope it's all fixed. It looks like it's all fixed. But we have missed a good portion of this race. The first 25 minutes in the first round, for the first time through traffic, we have missed, sadly. Platinum Racing Team, LMP2 Blue are in third. GasX Racing Team still in second. And Hashtag Racing Team LMP2 in first. Everything is lining up now for me. Astro Racing are still in the lead of the GTE class. T3 Motorsports are in second there. The BMW closing in on Astro Racing. .X Esports Red are in third. So the top three all very much the same there as well. Orion Race Team Pack GT3. They are in first in the GT3 class. Second there is TCE Virtual Motorsports and Ibach Sim Racing Team 4. All very, very close still there. Well, and at the head of the field, it looks like it is Hashtag Risk LMP2 running away with it. Rui Queiroz showing the pace he had in qualifying as well. Showing that in the race, 6.5 seconds clear of Mirko Bortolotti in that GasX Racing Team car. I hope it's all back and working now. If I could get a confirmation in the chat, that would be great. Platinum Racing Team, LMP2 Blue, still in third. The timings on the left not doing what they are supposed to do, but sadly nothing I can do about that. I think I have a quick fix for this. This will have fixed it, I think. So I hope now we can see every car properly. And it looks like, yes, we can. Good, that is all fixed as well. Now we can finally focus on the racing ahead of us. Hashtag racing catching up to some traffic now. Let's look with Rui Queiroz how he works his way through the traffic. Well, like we can see, it's very, very busy on track. Kazakh's racing team closing in actually the last few laps through the traffic on the hashtag racing LMP2 car. Yes, we are back. Hopefully it will keep working now because we've had some troubles. We've never had this before. It has always worked flawlessly. So this is the first timer for us that it doesn't work. But hey, let's focus on the racing ahead of us. Mirko Bortolotti working his way through the traffic on the outside here. Very tricky to do, but he is gaining a lot on that hashtag racing LMP2 car. Mirko Bortolotti, of course, well known for endurance racing in real life. Has done the 24 hours of Dubai, has done the 24 hours of Daytona. Last week he confirmed, or this week rather, he confirmed that he is going to be able to do the 24 hours of Spa, diving down the inside, wasting no time at all as there's a spin ahead of them, but he chooses the right side. And that is a lot of luck there for Mirko Bortolotti and a new pair of underpants. Winston Eckel, though, he is gaining because of that traffic on Mirko Bortolotti. Eckel's also close through all this traffic, especially at the beginning stages of the race when it's oh so close. We love ourselves some onboards of that. Of course, we're getting close to the first pit stops of the LMP field. And I think with the track temperature where it is at right now, that is he gonna try and dive down the inside here? Yes, he is. Well, all teams working their way through the traffic. Austrian sim racers with ASR Red in short, they are working their way through the field as well. Catching up to the Platinum Racing Team LMP2 blue car. Of course, if you are a driver and you are in the PEC, so the PAC server, get into the waiting room and I'll try and get you into the broadcast or into the commentary booth to have an interview, of course. Harald Bluma in that car. Ruma Motorsports is just behind that, working their way through the traffic as well. They are in 5th. All very, very close as well. Leading the GTE field is now the T3 Motorsports car. The BMW has overtaken the .X Esports red car. And at the moment we have one BMW in the field, and that BMW is leading the field in the GTE class. That just shows you don't have to be with much. The only advantage you have being with a lot of cars is that you as a manufacturer can or have more chance to win it in a longer race. But in a race of 4 hours, not a lot can happen, or still a lot can happen, but not as much as in the 24. And you don't have as much of an advantage as you have in a 24-hour race, getting there with like 3 or 4 cars. Because of course, if something happens to this BMW, then basically BMW is out of this race. So yeah, that is the only thing that it's helpful for. Of course, the .X Esports red car, as we see an ASR car coming through there. I think that's the ASR blue car. No, it is not. It was the ASR red car. But they are now slightly gaining. It's oh so close still between those two guys. At the head of the GT3 field, it's still very, very close. Like we said, it's... And again, we see Team iRacing Netherlands in there with Chris Lauwers in that car at the moment in 3rd position. They are a team that if it comes to qualifying are not always there. Oh, and they're almost a dive bomb from the Platinum Racing team blue car. But qualifying, they're not always there, but in the race they're definitely a team to keep an eye out for, because they worked their way up through the field very quickly, and now they are in 3rd position, looking to gain another place, as it's very, very close between TCE Virtual Motorsports as well. With Chris Lauwers here into the middle sectors. see a car coming up the inside again, Chris here. A little bit unlucky with the traffic, but the Eibach car is definitely in this as well. As is the Austrian Sim Races car. Looks like they are a little bit further back than they would have liked. RD Sim Sports, of course, are right behind the Austrian Sim Races car. There is that BMW, the GTE, overtaking the GT3s. The pace difference between the GTE and the GT3 is a little bit bigger here, or a little bit more noticeable than it was back at Spa. But it is oh so close. The Eibach Sim Racing Team 4 car is in this as well. Eibach, a team with a lot of cars in this, 4 cars actually in this, as now Chris is all over the back of that TCE Virtual Motorsports car, but he has to watch out because this is costing them time, and this is allowing Orion Race Team Pack GT3 to get away a little bit. As we have now the first couple of pit stops here of the LMP2s. With Snackle falling down the order. The hashtag Racing LMP2 car has a lap more than the Platinum Racing Team LMP2 blue car, just as the GasX Racing Team car. But they get out on track again. And they get right back into traffic. Orion Race Team Pack GT3 is getting away a little bit off from the pack, finally starting to get away from them a little bit. When trying to go with that LMP2 was the Eibach Sim Racing Team 4 car there. The Eibach Sim Racing Lamborghini now pressurizing the team, the iRacing Team Netherlands car. And it is now gonna be Chris Lauwers under attack from a BMW GTE. And he is going to let that car pass, but around the outside, that is going to be the inside for the second part, or for the second corner. Is he going to be able to make that one stick? Not quite well defended by Chris there. But this pack is just starting to spread a little bit more. Let's see if we have some drivers maybe in the waiting room. No one able to talk to us yet. As you can see on the left hand side, the field is so immensely big. But the T3 Motorsports BMW is now eking out that lead. It seems like it has the edge over the competition. But interested to see where the GasX Racing Team car is going to come out. They had another extra lap on everyone else, so they had 2 extra laps. Mirko Bortotti saving a lot of fuel there. And I can't imagine that there won't be any tire changes for that team. Here is Mirko Bortolotti on the left-hand side. You can see maybe the hashtag Racing LMP2 car coming through. The Eibach car, I think the Eibach car Team 3 there, they do double stint. There he is. Where is that car gonna come through? There it was. Mirko Bortotti is gonna be close on the pit exit. Oh, no, never mind. That is the Platinum Racing Team LMP2 blue car. That is not the hashtag Racing LMP2, and it's still Winston Eckel in that car. Up the inside now of traffic. Looks like that is an ASR team. As we have had our first 3/4 of an hour, they weren't without problems, but now it looks like every problem is fixed. And we can move on again. Hashtag Racing LMP2 still in the lead after that pit stop cycle. The gaps are widening a little bit. ASR Red on the back of the Rapid E-Racing Team Purple car, 1.4 seconds between that. They are gaining on that as we see our leaders in the championship of the AM class. I have to try and find them. Where are they? Let me try and find them. There they are, Cripps. They have lost they are still in the lead of that AM class in GTE. Again leading AJ Marston or Marston in the lead for that team, but it is still very close with the number 237 Lamborghini from PM Motorsports, as we have Karuma Motorsports now in the pits with some damage, it seems like, on the left hand side. And that is another team down a lap on the leaders of the LMP2 field. With this track being, of course, so short and so small, it is going to be difficult with traffic. Happy to see all of you here again. Thanks for the support you've given this series and these races, and thanks for sticking with us through all the problems as well. Rui Queiroz still in that car after the pit stop cycle. Who is in for Gazak's Racing Team? That is still Mirko Bortotti, so they all keep the same. Delta Motorsports 40. It is Frank Smits in that car now. They are in fourth. My favorite team, they are in fifth. Definitely looking a little bit less strong than they were out at Spa. They were a very strong side there, but definitely not looking as fast as they were there. Cardboard Blue, Joost Bouwmeester is just behind them as well. 3.8 seconds in between that. Rapid E-Racing Team Purple, they are side by side with ASR Red. ASR Red going around the outside, and that is a position gain for those guys. In seventh, they are now Rapid E-Racing Team Purple. Put down a place back into 8th. 9th, Horizon Sim Racing. With Florian Apacella in that car. Their first race in this championship is going to plan as of yet in 9th, still picking up some good points. Eibach Sim Racing Team 3. In 10, not really a place where you expect to see the Eibach cars. But Eibach is of course a team that is well known for their GT racing and not so much for their LMP2 racing, so it is still a respectable position. Austrian Sim Racers Blue, they are a lap down, still trying to fight their way back. And that Challenger Goliath Racing GoPro sadly down in 12th. And they are almost they are a lap down, almost getting lapped by the Platinum Racing Team LMP2 blue car. At the top of the oh, and that is up the inside, Chris Lowers there. We changed that at the exact moment in time. I was thinking, is the Porsche in that class? But that is a GTE car, and that is Chris Lowers up into second. Now able to chase down Orion Race Team Pack GT3. It would be an amazing result for them to bounce back, as there goes that car. Was that a collision there? Is my question. Can we take a look at that? Yes, we can, I think. Here we are up the inside. Does he notice it? Yes, he does, but just a little bit wide. And there, then up the inside, just turning in. And that is a collision there. I don't know really whose fault that was, but it seems like the LMP collided with the GTE car. And who was that? Who that was. Let's go back to live pictures. Here we have the Team iRacing Netherlands car. The gap to Orion Race Team Pack GT3 is only 3.8 seconds. That is definitely a gap that they can oversee. D3 Motorsports still lead as the only BMW in the GTE class. Seems like .X is gaining on them though. Johnny Verhoef in that car. Marius Brouwer in that car. Johnny is lacking a little bit of pace, it seems like. Last lap was just a tenth slower than I think Marius Brouwer in the T3 Motorsports by Manatee hashtag red car. So that is definitely a fight in the making there. Astro Racing coming into the pit lane. That is a very early stop for that car. Usually these cars are able to go just past the hour mark. But they are off sequence, and that is a drive-through. That is a penalty for the Astro Racing car. They were in P3. Luckily for them, their sister team, Astro Racing Mayorla, has picked up that position. So they are still in third, albeit with a different team. Orion Race Team Pack GTE is just behind that in the Porsche, trying to overtake. I think that is the TCE Virtual Motorsports car in the GT3 field. So that is not a fight for position, but it is something to get past, and he has done that now. Of course, in a bit you will get the hourly update sponsored by MS Drops from me, and we'll go over all the leaders and all the classes and what has happened so far. But let's see if there is someone who wants to talk to us at the moment. Not really. No one in the waiting room yet. is ahead of us, the Team IRNL car. They are not able to catch up to the Orion Race Team PAC GT3 car. But they are keeping in touch with them. They are not falling back that far, that fast. But it seems like the iBox Sim Racing Team 4 car has definitely found some pace. Here are our leaders in the GT3 class. On the right of us we can hear a Porsche GTE. Like we said in the beginning, the Porsche is a very, very strong car here. Austrian Sim Racers red car has also picked up another position in the LMP2 field. Cabot Blue has fallen for them, so they are now up into 6th. A team looking to get back to the front. Of course, we know that they are fast, we know that they can lead, because they have done that out at Spa the last time out as well. They just started a little bit further back than they were used to. But they are in 6th now and gaining time on everyone around them. The Gazax Racing Team car also gaining time on our leaders. That cap has come down from 10 seconds to 6.1 through traffic. Mirko Bortolotti gaining a lot of time there. The Eibach car now ahead of him. He's going to get it so from that all the way down the straight. And he can finally overtake that then now. Looking to chase down, of course, that hashtag racing LMP2 car with Mirko Bortolotti wasting no time through traffic. Up the inside there as well. So confident, this guy in the traffic. And there you can see, oh, do we have a spin ahead of us? That gap to the hashtag racing team car has come down a lot. Rui Queiroz, yes, we did have an incident there. Let's look at it. For a brief moment, up the inside, Rui Queiroz sticking to the inside, and there, like we've seen it before, that is a really easy thing to happen. And there goes everyone past. The TCE car gets off throttle to let it past, but that is all time that Rui Queiroz has gained before that pit stop gone. And now Mirko Bortolotti has him in his sights, and we know how strong it can be for a driver to see their prey ahead of them, to see their competitor up ahead of them. So Mirko Bortolotti now has someone to chase down. And he is gonna do so. Orion Race Team PAC GT3 still in the lead of the GT3 class. But I'm very interested about this battle. Mirko Bortolotti now 1.1 second away from the hashtag racing LMP2 car. Within a second now, he can get into that slipstream if he wants to. Up the inside of the GTE car here. The GTE car saw it, got out of the way. But that gap is back up to 1.2 seconds now, but gaining with that distance toe on Rui Queiroz. But it seems like Rui Queiroz has the faster setup on the straights. Also gaining fuel is Mirko Bortolotti. This man is multifunctional. He can drive fast and save fuel at the same time. But we are now going to run over the hourly update sponsored by MS Drops. We have in GT3 Orion Race Team Pack GT3 in the lead ahead of Team IRL, Team iRacing Netherlands. That gap has come down a little bit since we've last seen that by a second or so through traffic. That is just, yeah, it's just ebbing and flowing up and down, and that is interesting for you. Then in third overall, but in first in the GT3 AM class is TCE Virtual Motorsports 2, just ahead of Austrian Sim Racers Orange. They are third in the GT3 Pro standings. Then second in the GT3 AM is Akil Racing Cyan. They are in 6th overall, 9.3 seconds back from the RD Sim Sports car ahead of them. And then third in the GT3 AM class is Writer Engineering Esports. Their first race, of course, in this championship, and they are doing very, very good, or very, very well in their first race as a team in the Pack Championship in GT3. Then we have GTE. The GTE Pro class is led by the .X Esports red car. They are 18.3 seconds clear of the Astro Racing Majorla car. And Orion Race Team Pack GTE is in the third. But very interesting to see there is that the T3 Motorsports car by Manatee, they are down in 10th place at the moment. They were leading at one point. But the question is, did they make their pit stop already? It seems like they did, because they are into the pit stop cycle. The BMW not really good on fuel mileage, it seems like, because they were the very first to get into the pit lane. Well, and we go on to our GTE AM leaders, Crips Racing. Again, like last race, we've seen them in the lead from the beginning of the race. And yeah, they are just eking out that lead little by little. PM Esports, they are just behind that. 8.6 seconds the gap is after 1 hour of racing. They are second in the GTE AM class. And then a little bit further down, we have in 12th place iBox Sim Racing Team 1. They are third in the GTE AM class. Let's look then to the LMP2 field. We have hashtag Racing LMP2 still in first position, of course. They had that crash with the Porsche GTE car. I think that was Astro Racing they had that with, or the Astro Racing Majorla car. I don't know which one of them, but it was one of those two cars. GasX Racing Team is in second, just behind that. 1.4 seconds is the gap after 1.5, or after one and a bit hours of racing. And then in third, a team that is very strong as well is Winston Eckel for Platinum Racing Team LMP2 Blue. They are in third at the moment, 19.5 seconds back from the leaders. But they are still in it, and that is what counts at the end of the day. Like we've seen in Spa, if you're leading, you're not immune to things happening. And we've seen it today as well with that spin from the hashtag Racing LMP2 car. There's no AM class in the LMP2 field. So those are all your LMP2 standings. Let's see if we have someone to talk to us. Not really anyone there. But it's really shaping up to be a good fight. Mirko Bortoletti gaining now on the hashtag Racing LMP2 car, driven by Rui Queiroz, still going strong in that car. Here you can see the undulation in the middle sector, really up and down. We all know the track of Interlagos, between the lakes. It's located, of course, in Brazil. A track where that always produces good racing. And he is now chasing down that hashtag Racing LMP2 car. 1.4 seconds is the gap. Last lap, Mirko Bortoletti marginally slower, 2/10. But now, the hashtag Racing LMP2 car catching traffic at the wrong time, and that can be the difference between a good and a bad lap. And now, Mirko Bortoletti is within a second. Oh, judging where he had to go, that GT3 stayed in the middle of the road. But he is now within a second of that hashtag Racing LMP2 car. As we are now into the pit stop cycles for the GT3s. This is a fight to keep our eyes on. Again, catching traffic at the wrong place into the middle sector. That gap now coming down to 7/10. A little bit less than that. Around the outside is going to try and go. Mirko Bortoletti has it easier up the inside for him. Rui Queiroz is making the gaps for him to go into. And now he is within half a second. Around the outside, is it going to be the move for Mirko Bortoletti? Around the outside, still getting boxed in with the GT3. He has to leave the throttle and stick it behind the hashtag Racing LMP2 car. But this is his chance into the slipstream, 2/10. This has to be the moment for Mirko Bortoletti to overtake the hashtag Racing LMP2 car. Is he going to do so, or is he going to stay fuel? That is the question. It definitely looks like Mirko Bortoletti is going to try and overtake around the outside. He's going to have to go the preferred line in the second part of this corner, T2 to the right. And Mirko Bortoletti has that position in his pocket now. And now he can try and get away from Rui Queiroz now in second position. That hashtag Racing team car has been leading from the beginning, from the get-go. But now it is Mirko Bortoletti for Gazak's Racing team in the lead. And we have our first lead change without pit stops on track. Of course, Mirko Bortoletti not done. You saw that Rui Queiroz has some raw pace, of course, and is faster on the straight line as well. But now he is going to struggle in that wake of Mirko Bortoletti. It's not much that these cars create, of course, since they are closed cockpit, closed wheels as well, so they do create a lot less dirty air than Formula cars. And Mirko Bortoletti catching traffic in the wrong place as well, but this is the gap he needed. Traffic really playing a big part for Mirko Bortoletti here, but on the exit a little bit squirmy there. But 8/10 is way too far back for the hashtag Racing LMP2 car. Making it 3 wide up the middle, Mirko Bortoletti. Giving absolutely zero about getting crashed there, but of course that is the mentality you have to have. And again, traffic playing a big part for Mirko Bortoletti. He is just so confident through the traffic, catches it at just the right place. And now he is 1.2 seconds clear. Delta Motorsports is also just behind Austrian Sim Racers Red. They just got overtaken. Austrian Sim Racers Red picking up another position in 5th position. They are now really working their way up through the field. The gap ahead of ASR Red now is 5 seconds to my favorite team. But these two at the front of the field are really in a league of their own now, catching again. But it's ebbing and flowing all over the place. Gabor Blue behind Rapid E-Racing team purple. Of course, they are still very, very close as well. After the pit stop cycle, let's see who's got in the GT3 cars. For it's Matthias Zimmer for Eibach Racing Team for cycling to the front in that pit stop cycle. Of course, Eibach Sim Racing team, a team that is usually at the front of the field, but they did overtake a lot of drivers. Do they double stint is my question. I think they did double stint these drivers, since I think Orion Racing Team Pack GT3 has fallen back quite some margin, but they are gaining a lot on the drivers ahead of them. So I think that they have done a double stint, the guys ahead of them. Now TCE Virtual Motorsports falling back a little bit from the team IRNL, but they're falling back from the Eibach Sim Racing Team 4, Eibach Sim Racing Team 3. They are Sim Racing Team 1. They are still driving, but they are in 12th in the GTE class and way further down, and they want to be really. Anyone already ready to talk to us now at this point? Not really anyone. Eibach Sim Racing Team 4 in the lead, of course, then. In the Team IRNL car, who is in that? It's Jamie Mollema, of course, in that car. We saw him at Spa. He's a very quick driver as well. All very well matched, the drivers at Team IRNL. DCE Virtual Motorsports 2. John Sylvester in that car. With, of course, the Senna as livery, or the Senna style livery. That is really suited, of course, to this track. Of course, since we're in Brazil and Senna was from Brazil, like a lot of people know. Orion Racing Team Pack GT3 is in 4th. They, I think, did not double stint, and that's why they fell back that much. But they are gaining a lot on everyone around them. So I think, yes, they are on new tires. That is that question answered. And .X Esports Red still in the lead. T3 Motorsports is now behind that. They are falling back a little bit, dropping the pace a little bit. Joshua Maya still in that car, but did they double stint is my question. Since they are really a lot slower than a lot of the cars. What do we have then ahead of them? That was the Ryder Engineering Esports red car, driven by Tim Holtz, of course, in 13th. They are their first race for, or in the Platinum Endurance Championship as well. So they are really looking to do as best as they can, learn as quick as they can, and take everything they learn with them on their journey. going over the standings in all classes. First, Gaslex Racing Team ahead of Hashtag Racing Team and P2 Platinum Racing Team. And P2 Blue is third, fourth, my favorite team. Fifth, Austrian Sim Racers Red. And then we have Rapid E-Racing Team Purple. Cardboard Blue, Horizon Sim Racing, their first race as well. Ibach Sim Racing Team 3 and 9th. Austrian Sim Racers Blue in 10th. 11th, Delta Motorsports 40 and Z Challenger Glide Racing GoPro in 12th. So we have an interview coming up with one of our stewards. In just a moment time. Then GTE, it is .x Esports Red in first position, ahead of the T3 Motorsports BMW. Astro Racing Mayorla is in third, just behind Astro Racing. Their sister team is now ahead of them, of course, as Astro Racing Mayorla. Orion Racing Team Pack GTE in 5th, 6th is Ibach Sim Racing Team 2, 7 PM Esports, 8th Team Slow Pace, 9th JD Sim Racing, Crips Racing out of the lead in the GTE and class. Verve Racing Team Black in 11th, Ibach Sim Racing Team 1 in 12th and 13th, but out of the race is Akil Racing. And of course the biggest field of them all, it is Ibach Sim Racing Team 1 ahead of Team IRNL with a big fight going on here. Team iRacing Netherlands just ahead of TCE Virtual Motorsports. Then we have Orion Racing Team Pack GT3, Austrian Sim Racers Orange are in 5th, RD Sim Sports in 6th, Fields Academy Motorsports in 7th, 8th, Akil Racing Cyan 9th, Digital Motorsports DS Racing 10th, Team Kerstens, they are currently having a very good result, being on the podium in that class. I think it's Pepe Kerstens, he is driving for that team. He is just behind the Digital Spirit DS Racing BMW. Keeping the car clean at the moment and having a very good race. Pepe is a driver that is not known for his outright pace, but he is a driver that is known for just keeping it consistent and yeah, just keeping it on the black stuff. Then 11th YS Motorsports Blue, 12th Bikes Online DS Racing, 13th H2 Motorsports, 14th TR Motorsports Pack, 15th Ryler Engineering Esports Purple, ERC powered by FSP TV Rijnland Yellow is in 16th, YS Motorsports Red 17th, 18th Hashtag Racing GT3, 19th Z Challenger, 20th TR powered by Greeks Energy. Platinum Racing Team GT3 is in, they are out of the race. All drivers or all cars are out of the race that are beneath them. Leaders Racing Green as well are out of this race. Kerstens here trying to overtake the Digital Spirit DS Racing car to try and chase down the Akil Racing Cyan car ahead of them. That is 29 seconds. But it looks like Pepe is faster though than the Digital Spirit DS Racing car. But overtaking is a difficult quest here. Nick Kerstens, I think, got that car up into third. Try and maybe speak to him. Now around the outside is Pepe going to try and go for 9th position overall. Is that position going to be given though? Yes it is. That is not in his class. So the DS or the digital, yeah, DS racing car gives that position to Pepe. That is a nice overtake. Now he can chase down the driver ahead of him, Akil Racing Cyan. And that car is driven by Shea McNeely. Shea McNeely. Ivo de Brouwer T3 Motorsport, they are currently in 2nd in the GTE field. 5.2 seconds back. They were in the lead, of course, at one point in the first stint, but it looks like Jos Meyer has just dropped some pace compared to the .X Esports red car. That gap now up to 5.2 seconds. That was once 1.8. But now it looks like that has stabilized at 5.2. So it's really job for them to keep in touch with them, and then everything can still happen to the end of the race. As I think our stewards are at the moment busy with some incidents. That is why it is taking a little longer to speak one of them. Astro Racing Marola car now overtaken by their sister team, or their sister team. They are the sister team. They are now overtaken by their leaders team. Astro Racing is now back up into 3rd after that drive-through, trying to of course make their way up again. Crips Racing is falling down a little bit. They were in the lead of the GTE AM Championship, or in the GTE AM. But it looks like Lewis is not really on the pace at the moment. So you have a crash here. John Sylvester crash. Let's see what happened here. Is that the T3 Motorsports BMW? Don't tell me. No, that is not. That is the TCE Virtual Motorsports car. Oh, and that is a crash all on its own. Does he collect anyone else? No, he doesn't, and he unfortunately has to jump back to the pits. At the front of the field, it's still very, very close between GazX Racing teams, Mirko Bortolotti, and Hashtag Racing LMP2 car driver Rui Queiroz. Up the inside of T1, that is a late dive, but he makes that one work. Platinum Racing Team, LMP2, blue. Vincent Eccles still in that car. We are coming up to the pit stops now of these cars again. They were due to pit, I thought, like 2 minutes ago, but it seems like they can go a little bit longer on fuel mileage. But I'm, to be honest, really, really impressed with the pace that Team Kerstens has. now up into P7 at the moment. They are in second, I think, in the GTE class, or in the GT3 AM class. Or are they not? They are up into second in the GTE AM class and gaining on the leader of that class as well. Has really stepped up his pace a notch, but it seems like he's being pressurized by the Digital Spirit DS racing car. Albeit that is not a fight for position. The YS Motorsports blue car is gaining a little bit. And I'm hearing that the hashtag 17, that is the Platinum Racing Team LMP2 blue car, has damage. Vincent, if you want to get into Discord, maybe after the pit stops, that would be really, really nice. Now into the pits, of course, they come. Oh, so close, locking up there on the pit entry. Wow. I think Winston Eckel is going to give that car now to Perry Oosterveer. Ori is going to do a triple and Perry is going to do a triple. But I don't think that is going to be the case. No, it isn't. Perry Oosterveer in that car now. But the pit stop cycle is underway. Austrian Sim Racers Red are also a car. I would love to know what happened to that car, but we'll get to know, I think, once Winston or Vincent gets into the commentary booth. If one of them gets in, I don't know for sure, of course. Blomheid taking the wheel of that car. But it looks like the Platinum Racing Team blue car is still in the pits repairing that damage. And that is going to cost them a lot of time. And they had a very good position in the championship. It's definitely not all over for them. But this is going to ruin the chance of a good result in this race for them. Of course, we know they have the pace. We know they can fight through the field as well. They're still in the pit lane, almost a lap down. I think if they don't watch out, of course, these drivers have to make a pit stop themselves as well. But it looks like the Platinum Race Team car is now out of the pits. That was a pit stop that was a little bit longer than they want to. 30 seconds longer than they are normally with tires. Which I assume they did at the same time. Mirko Bortolotti being able to go again 2 laps longer than the Platinum Racing Team LMP2 blue car. He gets really good fuel mileage on that, or in that car, it seems like. Yes, it seems like that car is out of the pits as well. Not a good day for Platinum Racing Team. Their orange car is out of the pits already, or is out of the race already. And Perry Oosterveer now in this car down into 8th after Winston Eckel got some damage in his stint. They are 1 lap down to GasX Racing Team though. But that Kazakh racing team still not into the pits. They can go 3 laps longer than the competition. That is big, big, big for Mirko Bortolotti, saving that fuel. Of course, now a gap of 1 minute and 15 seconds to their rivals. But I'm wondering, I have a question. Where is the Team iRacing Netherlands car in the GT3 field? They are down in 18th in the pit lane. Wow. They were doing so well, but now they are back into the pits. Kuruma Motorsports making their way up the field again. They're still a lap behind the leaders of the GTE field. Also some Red Blue in the pits as well. Benedict Hochleitner in that car now. And Gazax is finally into the pits. Martin Stadtmann in that car now. Looks like Mikko Bortolotti was able to eke out that gap 2 more seconds before he went into the pit lane. Taking tires and everything. That stop is going to take about 54 seconds. Time on pit lane costs you like 10 seconds as well. Maybe 15. And then the pit exit, which costs you 3-4 seconds as well. So it is going to be close on pit exit as well. Here they are coming out of pit lane. Where is the hashtag racing LMP2 car? It looks like that car is way, way behind. Mirko Bortolotti got a gap way bigger than that. Martin Stadtmann, is he going to be able to do the same with fuel as Mirko Bortolotti did, is my question. We'll find out at the end, of course, of this stint. Team Kerstens still going fast. Just ahead of the Digital Spirit DS racing car. 29 seconds is the gap still to Akil Racing Cyan. And if Pepe can keep that gap the same, I'm confident that Nick can eke out that gap by just a little bit. Vincent Ossems is now in the commentary booth. Vincent, welcome.
Hi, Dan.
Vincent, I got to know from you that the 17 car had some damage. Can you tell us what happened with that, because we did not see that?
Yeah, we got a contact with a GT3 car in turn 4 in lap 50, I think. We were on the inside. They went a bit wide and they just got across track back to us when we were besides them, and we got damage from that, and yeah, we just lost like half a second every lap. So yeah, that was very unfortunate. But yeah, shit.
Did it happen early on in the stint, or?
I think halfway through. Yeah, halfway through, 20 laps in, I think. So 2/3 into the stint.
Yeah, you of course lose a lot of time with that. Well, is that now going to change the race strategically for the team as well?
Yeah, we took the optionals, so that's why we lost quite a bit of time now. Sorry, correction, it was lap 40, it wasn't 50, so it was early in the stint. So we had about 21 laps of damage, so we lost quite some time. Yeah, we'll have to see where we stand with the strategy, but the damage has been repaired, so we hope we can move forward now, and we'll see where we end up.
Okay, so of course with iRacing's damage model, is the car now fully up to speed again?
I think so. I haven't checked yet because we just made the pit stop and then I went straight to the stewards and then I went here. So I'm not quite sure, but I think the top speed looks okay. So I think it's fixed.
Okay, well, so, of course, strategically, last time you said you, of course, had a master plan. Um, is that the case for this time around as well?
No, we're not sure. We're doing something different than the rest of the LMP2s, but we're not sure if it's gonna work. So we'll have to wait and see. Um, but so far it's looking alright. So yeah.
Well, Vincent, thank you for informing us about what happened, and yeah, I'm gonna wish your team good luck for the remainder of the race.
Yes. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Well, then at the head of the field we have Iverson Racing Team 4, just ahead of Orion Race Team Pack GT3, just overtaken by the Reiter Engineering Esports LMP2 car that was for position. They were very far down the field. Well, and as you can see here, that was of course for overall position. Kazakh Racing Team car, driven by Martin Stadtmann, is keeping the same gap to the hashtag Racing LMP2 car. That car is now, after their pit stop cycle, driven by Felipe Silvera. So that car still keeping the same pace with the other drivers. Well, then I'm going to give you a lap around the circuit with our current leaders of the race, with the traffic as well. Martin Stadtmann will lead you around the track in just a minute's time. Of course, this is a track with a lot of undulation, and he's going for it up the inside there. Wow. That was dairy there from Martin Stadtmann. It's very busy here on this particular part of the track. A lot of GT cars here. He is gonna lose some time here, but the hashtag Racing LMP2 car has to get through that as well. Here's a lap around the Interlagos circuit. Well then, that is a lap around this circuit, Martin Stadtmann. A very fast lap also around the circuit. That last lap was a 24.6. Only 6/10 off that car's best lap. But he has lost some time there through the traffic on the hashtag racing LMP2 car. But it was very, very busy there and he caught them at the wrong time. Of course, we have seen traffic working in their favor when Mirko Bortolotti, of course, was in that car. And there again, catching traffic at the wrong time. Oh, and they have a touch there. They spin someone around. Martin Stadtmann spins, I think. Who was that? That was the Urs Müller. That was the YS Motorsports blue car. That was the... I think that is the third place car in GT3 AM. Yes, it is Pepe Kerstens. Still in second position. And in 7th overall in that class. 31st overall, of course. But that is high up for a GT3 car. Orion Racing Team Pack GT3 26th, of course. They are in 2nd overall. Iverson Racing Team 4 in the lead of the GT3 field. This team is not usually in these positions, but they have been very, very strong at Interlagos here. A favorite track, I think, from them, one of their favorites, the 499 of Team Kerstens. And the YS Motorsports blue car just got spun around, so they have a little bit more of breathing room now behind them. In class, of course. There comes the leader. Pepe Kerstens, is he gonna close the door? No, he isn't on Martin Stadtmann. He is gonna have to stick behind though. Platinum Racing Team LMP2 Blue making their way up the field, 7 seconds back on the Rapid E-Racing Team Purple car at the moment. Barry Oosterweer putting in some quick laps as well. Team iRacing Netherlands still in the pits. It looks like they are out of this race. As our Technic leaving the pits after a pit stop that took them 23 minutes, 2 seconds and 3/300ths of a second. That is a long pit stop and they are, I think, not going to come back from that, but they are still continuing because every position is won. iBox Sim Racing, a team 4 in the lead of the GT3 field. They've been there for quite some time now, eking out that lead little by little. The gap behind now is 8 seconds. And that has been less at some point. Oh, but they have a snap there. That is not going to gain them time, of course. The Rapid E-Racing Team Purple car at the head of the field is just behind the cardboard blue car, of course. Just in that car. 6/10 now. He's going to be gaining on the straights, of course, with that slipstream now on the cardboard blue car. But fighting here is also going to lose them time to Platinum Racing Team and LMP2 Blue behind them. Delta Motorsports 40 are in 5th place at the moment. It's my favorite team, together with I think one of the Astro Racing Marola cars, or one of the Astro Racing cars, I have to say. I think it was the Astro Racing Marola, to be honest. Austrian Sim Races Blue going back through the field again. Benedikt Hochleitner in that car. He is 2 laps behind the leader of this race. .X Esports Red is in the lead at the moment of the GTE classes. Crips Racing here has the lead back in the GTE AM class as well. Our blue here, this is a close fight. The Rapid E Racing Team Purple car desperate to get through, or desperate to get past the cardboard blue car, but they are now eking out their lead a little bit again. Austrian Sim Races Orange, meanwhile, in the top 3 of the GT3 class. They are right behind the Orion Race Team Pack GT3. iBox Sim Racing Team 4, their lead has shrunk a little bit as well. That gap now down to 6 seconds. It's not a lot, but it is closing a little bit. I do expect the pit lane to be very busy at the 2-hour mark, like I said. Because then the LMPs and GT3s and GTEs are all going to come in at the same time. Of course, if you're watching the stream and you're a driver, feel free to pop into the waiting room and I'll try and get you into the commentary booth as early as I see you for an interview, just for a nice chat on how your race is going. Now right on the back of the Orion Racing Pack GT3 car is Tobias Kurz trying to go up the inside. Is that going to happen? No, not quite. Also almost 2 hours done, so you're going to get the hourly update sponsored by msdrops.nl. As there is, I think, one of the Writer Engineering esports cars coming through. I think that was the Writer Engineering. Let me see, where are they? the Writer Engineering Esports red car, I think that was. Up the inside now, meanwhile, goes Tobias Kurtz. Almost missed that. That is almost position done for him because the inside is very much preferred here. And then P2 comes through to make that a definite position for Tobias Kurtz as well. He's now going to go around the outside. The inside is covered by a slow BMW of, I think that is Team Kerstens. Was that Team Kerstens? What happened to Team Kerstens? Did something happen? We don't really know yet. Or was he just letting someone through? I think it was that last part. Now, meanwhile, behind that, looking to get them as well, is the RD Sim Sports car. They are looking to get through on the Orion Race Team Pack GT3 car as well. This is what's really dropping back a bit now as the leaders are coming through as well. Austin Sim Races Orange, they can now chase down the iBox Sim Racing team in the lead. They've been very, very fast consistently. Go, 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 Azar Orange. Curtis Son, thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for interacting with us. Of course, ASR Orange, a car that is well known to go fast here, but it is now getting held up a little bit, and that has allowed the Orion Race Team Pack GT3 car to get back into that slipstream. But they now have to get past this Porsche as well. They have some traffic to deal with themselves as well. So that gap now bigger than a second again, and it goes very, very quickly. Astro Racing Mayorla now having a fight with Orion Race Team Pack GTE. That gap is only 7/10 behind that team. Slope is also within half a second of the JD Sim Racing car, but we can only show one fight at a time. Making it 3 wide there was the LMP of, I think, the Writer Engineering Esports car. Trips Racing getting a lap down here. They are really still in the lead of that GTE AM class. Of course, GTE and a class that is very, very well packed with a lot of good teams, but only 6 teams of them in there, sadly. Not too big of a championship, that one. My favorite team right behind them. They have the Austrian Sim Racers red car following them through the traffic and everything. They're gonna have to let that one go there. But now the traffic comes their way again. Maybe up the inside or around the outside. Following them through the traffic here would be nice. Oh, so close on the exit with the BMW. But this is their shot to strike. Within 2/10, faster on the straight. Into the slipstream is Harald Bloemauer. Bloemauer. Oh, and he touches him. And he goes wide. We have a big spinner on the straight. I don't really know what happened there, but my favorite team has crashed. And who is that who has crashed with them? It looks like that was the Major. That was Marco. Bikes Online DS Racing. That was the Bikes Online DS Racing car. And that is very good for this team, Pepper Kerstens, and for Akil Racing Cyan. They were a team that were very, very fast in that BMW. And that is a monumental crash. And that was all caused by the Austrian Sim Racers red touching, of course, side by side with them. Here we can see it maybe a little bit better. Yeah, touching side by side. That is a weird incident to happen, to be honest. Oh, and then not holding their brakes. That is, I think, their fault for not holding their brakes. That crash was, of course, the Austrian Sim Racers red fault. But then not holding the brakes was the fault of, I think, the my favorite team car. Of course, I think trying to get out of the way, but you have to just hold your brakes and be I think what's the word? Be judgeable, so that they know what you're gonna do. And that was definitely not the case with that crash. That is going to set them back massively. It was a massive impact for that car. Bloemauer had nothing to do with the incident that followed. But it was a little bit clumsy touching side by side there. The Delta Motorsports 40 car is now up into fourth. A very, very good drive for them. Frank Smits in fourth, and Rapid E-Racing Team Purple. Also a very good drive for them. Platinum Racing Team LMP2 Blue with a very consistent drive as well. These three cars within 9 or within 10 seconds. Rapid E-Racing Team Purple, Cowboy Blue and Platinum Racing Team Blue all within 3 seconds of each other. As we now have, of course, the pit stop cycle happening again. We'll wait with the hourly update until a quarter over the hour, so we of course have the correct standings instead of the standings with the pit stop cycle. Ivox Sim Racing Team 4 still in the lead of the GT3 field. Number 69. ASR red car, of course, behind them there. Really able to get through. Oh, but a squirm on the exit, and that's going to hold the Ibox Sim Racing car. Let's look when they all get into the pit lane. I think Team Kersons has just been set, or are going to be set back a lap in just a bit. Yeah, that is going to be very, very close with them. I'm interested to see what Nick Kersons can do in this car, since the pace between Akil Racing side and this Team Kersons car in the hands of Pepe has been kind of the same. And Pepe is usually not the quicker of the two. I say usually because he definitely has some outright pace as well. But usually Nick is just a few tenths faster than Pepe. So I'm really interested to see what that car can do in his hands. Nobody in the waiting room at the moment. The Gazax Racing Team car still in the lead, losing time though to the hashtag Racing LMP2 car. Martin Stadtmann not as fast, I think, as Mirko Bortolotti, or not as quick through the traffic as Mirko Bortolotti. I just think outright pace, the difference isn't that big. Of course, they're not losing too fast, but the gap is coming down to 3.6 seconds. Meanwhile, further back in the GT3 field, from P4 to P3, it's the Fields Academy Motorsports Porsche that is pressurizing the Orion race team BMW. Trying to get past, of course. 4 tenths is the gap to them. Really close enough to do something yet, but he is definitely closing over the space of the last few laps. Still in pit lane is the My Favorite Team car. It's going to be a long repair, I think. County Motorsports car getting closer now down the straight. What is he going to be able to do? As here they come. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he isn't. Not quite close enough this time around. Remember now, this is the battle for third. That is the Rapid E-Racing Team purple car coming through there. Oh, very close there with one of the Reiter engineering cars. But it all ended well. Oh, it's now an LMP2 again, squeezes past there and they have to lift. Traffic really playing a big part in this race, like we've seen a lot of times now. And then again on the exit of the last corner, again an NMP just squeezing in there. Makes the gap bigger again, and that it keeps being the same over and over again. Not really getting lucky with traffic now, as now the Lamborghini is really hampered on the exit. Is he going to be able to get past? Not really this time around. Of course, the hourly update coming up in 5 minutes. Sponsored by MS Drops. We are fully into the pit stop cycles for all classes now. The ASR orange car leading at the moment ahead of the Orion Race Team Pack GT3, but I think that the iBox Sim Racing Team 4 car has pitted already, so that is not a real first position. ERC powered by FSP TV Rijnland # yellow car, trying to overtake the TR Motorsports P's or pack car. He's going to try that up the inside of turn 1. No, he isn't. He's going to stick behind for a little bit longer. It is very busy on pit exit there. Very, very busy. update coming to you in just a moment time. The GTE class, we have .X Esports still leading with a gap of 18 seconds in the pro class. PM Esports is now in the lead, I think. Yes, they are. The JD Sim Sports car in 6th. They are also 6th in the Pro Championship as well, or in the Pro class. Not in the Championship, of course, we don't know the Pro class yet. Ibox Sim Racing Team 2 in 6th. And we have the Astro Racing Morolacar Orion Racing Team. They are in 4th. 3rd is the T3 Motorsports by Manatee car. And we have the Astro Racing car in 2nd, and in 1st we have the .X Esports red car, of course. Then we have Grips Racing in 11th at the moment. They were in the lead in the GTE and class. They now fell out of that, but is that pit stops though? That is my question. You are going to get now the hourly update sponsored by msdrops.nl. We'll start from the opposite side then this time. We'll start at the GT3s. In 1st position there, it's Ibox Sim Racing Team 4. It seems like that is a legit 1st position ahead of the ASR Orange car. They are 2nd overall and 2nd in the Pro class. Orion Race Team Pack GT3 in 3rd overall and 3rd in their class as well. Then we go to our leaders in the GT3 AM class. They are now leaving the pits. Cameron White. That is for Akil Racing Cyan. Winston, welcome to the stream. I hope you are enjoying it. Team Kerstens is just behind that though. They are now getting onto the straight, very close to with the LMP2 there. Nick Kerstens in that car. We'll see what the gap is in just a little bit time. The gap between them has widened a little bit through the pit stop phase. That is now 40 seconds. So it really seems like that Pepe is the faster driver in that car at the moment. 39 seconds is the gap there. That is what he has to close to the leader in his class. He's now 2nd, 7th overall. And 3rd in his class is the YS Motorsports blue car. They are 9th overall and 3rd in the GT3 AM class. Then we look further on into the field, the GTE classes, and that is all dominated of course by the pros. .X Esports Red are in the lead there like they've been for most of this race. Astro Racing is in 2nd, and T3 Motorsports are a close 3rd behind that. Only 3.4 seconds is what they have to close. The only BMW in the race at the moment, thank you Winston, for the compliment. That is the only BMW in the race, and they are third. The rest is all Porsches in the GTE field. So it would be big if they could get a podium overall in this class. Then the GTE and field is led by PM Esports in 9th position overall in that class. 11th position in that class is Crips Racing, and they are second in the GTE class, and they are the last one really in with a chance of winning that one. 36 laps down, we do have Eibach Sim Racing Team 1, of course. Eibach, a team that is known for just keep going, and we'll see where we finish, but they are 36 laps down, and they are in third in the GTE class. Well then, let's look on to the LMP2s. GasX Racing Team finally making their pit stop now, ahead of the hashtag Racing LMP2 car. Delta Motorsports 40 is in third there, but they are not a close third by any means. A team that was up there was the Platinum Racing Team LMP2 blue car. Of course, Winston got some damage there in his second stint. Perry has had a very consistent third stint. Nothing happened, and they're still in 7th position. That was your hourly update from the circuit Interlagos, which is between the lakes, from Brazil. There will be another hourly update in an hour time that will come to you, sponsored by msdrops.nl. Well, then out of the pit lane is GasX Racing Team. The gap there is 11 seconds to hashtag Racing LMP2. That is a little bit bigger than it was before the pit stops though. See if someone is in the waiting room to talk to us. No one there at the moment. So I'll keep an eye out for that. If someone is there, that I will get them into the commentary booth. Well, let's just look over the whole field at the moment. We'll go over all the positions in all the classes. Well then, it's of course the GasX Racing Team car leading in the hands of Mirko Bortolotti. He is back in the car now. Hashtag Racing LMP2 is in second still. Delta Motorsports 40 a little bit further back, 47 seconds back from that, with Frank Schmitz in that car. Austin Sim Racers Red are closing in on them, 6 seconds to get back into the top 3. They've really fought hard to get their way into the top 3 again. Rapid E Racing Team Purple, they are in 5th overall. 6th is Cardboard Blues in the LMP2 class. Platinum Racing Team LMP2 Blue in the hands of Perry Oosterveer is still in that 7th position, and they've been there for quite some time now. Eibach Sim Racing Team 3, they're in 8th, side by side now with the Austrian Sim Racers red car. This is a lapped car, so they have to let that go. A big snap there for the Austrian Sim Racers red community car, but they keep it on track, luckily. Z Challenger Goliath Racing are just ahead of that. And then we have Horizon Sim Racing, their first race, of course, in this championship. Austrian Sim Racers Blue They're up into 11th. They are looking better than they've ever been in this race. Writer Engineering Esports, they are back ahead of the GTE cars as well. Then we have in GTE the .X Racing Esports car still leading, like I said. Astro Racing is in second. Third is the T3 Motorsports by Manatee Pack GTE car. Fourth, Orion Race Team Pack GTE. Fifth, Astro Racing Majorla. And sixth is Aibach Sim Racing Team 2. JD Sim Racing is in 7th. 8th is Team Slow Pace. 9th PM Esports. 10th Verve Racing Team Black. 11th is Crips Racing. And the rest is out of this race. Then in the GT3 field, the biggest field we have, it is the Aibach Sim Racing Team car leading the way ahead of the Austrian Sim Racers orange car, and then the RD Sim Sports car. Fourth is Orion Race Team Pack GT3. Fields Academy Motorsports is in fifth. Sixth is Akil Racing Cyan, and then seventh, a very good seventh, is Nick Kerstens for Team Kerstens. They are currently, seems like 37 seconds back, so Nick is gaining on them little by little. Digital Spirit DS Racing is in 8th. 9th is YS Motorsports Blue. 10th is ERC powered by FSP TV Rhineland. TR Motorsports Pack is in 11th. Writer Engineering Esports is in 12th. YS Motorsports Red is in 13th. And 14th we have TCE Virtual Motorsports. 2 Hashtag Racing GT3 is in 15th. 16th SR Technic Pack. Then we have Bikes Online DS Racing, of course, still in the pits. And then TR Power by Greeks Energy. The rest is out of this race. See if someone is there who wants to talk to us. No one yet. It's the Kazakh Racing Team still in the lead of the race, in the hands of Mirko Bortotti, eking out that lead a little bit. The JD Sim Racing car is just behind the Iowa Sim Racing Team 2 car. This is for 6th and 7th. Not any close fighting going on at the moment. Mirko Bortotti, we know he's fast. He's shown that to us in his first 2 stints. But the fact that I think Martin Stadtmann did only 1 stint amazes me, because usually you do 2 stints in a row. But yeah, only 1 stint for Martin Stadtmann. Maybe there were some reasons they had to do that, maybe, that we don't know of yet. As you can hear, a lot of fuel saving being done by Mirko Bortolotti. That is of course how he can do 2 laps extra on everyone else every time. Hashtag Racing LMP2, of course, they are still in second. 10 seconds back from the GasX Racing team. It seems like the gap has stabilized a bit at that 10-second mark. But like we heard, Mirko Bortolotti is saving fuel a lot. Still no one in the waiting room to talk to us. The race has really been at a quiet point as of yet. The Astro Racing Norla car, though, within a second of the T3 Motorsports BMW. They've been falling down the order a little bit the last few laps. A 34.01 last lap by the T3 Motorsports car. Oh, you have a big crash, and the BMW is involved in that. Paul Gallego goes around, or gets spun around actually. The T3 car is involved, but in that, hopefully not too much damage sustained by any of the cars. But let's look what happened there. We're gonna see it from this angle. Oh, the BMW car came across. Yeah, that is very unfortunate for the Astro Racing Mayorla car. And I think, yes, they do have a lot of damage. Motorsports car going to continue, or is it going to peel into the pit lane for repairs? No, it is going to continue. So I think that means that that car is at least a little bit okay. Kazakh Racing team keeping out of trouble at the moment. Yeah, Shadow has, that was a big one though. Don't know really what happened there. But it looked like the BMW just came across and they didn't know how wide his car was. Of course, that BMW is a chunky boy. But he should have known how big his car was and where his car was on the road, of course. Rico Bortolotti now losing a little bit of time to the hashtag Racing NMP2 car. We have the RD Sim Sports car now right behind the Austrian Sim Racers car. Up the inside, he's going to try and go. Is he going to make that move stick side by side through turn 4? The long left-hander, and it seems like he is ahead on the exit, but is the ASR orange car going to come back up the inside? No, he isn't. That is a brilliant move by the RD Sim Sport car. That's a brilliant move by Tom Mail. And that is great driving by both drivers, of course. Now he has to try and get away from him. As there is, I think, the Delta Motorsports 40. No, that is the carbon blue MP2 car coming through the field. As Platinum Racing Team and MP2 Blue now finally has made up some positions. And it is Perry Oosterveer still in that car, up into 5th again. 11 seconds still the gap to the Rapid E-Racing Team purple car. A podium is still on for these guys, definitely. With 1 hour and 20 minutes to go, there's still a lot that can happen. Delta Motorsports car very, very fast as well today, but the top two have just been in a league of their own. As I see that Marnix is gonna hop in with us in a second. That is great to see, or great to hear, Marnix. Oh, I'm looking forward to having someone in the voice chat as well. The PM Esports car now 50 seconds behind the Crips Racing car. That Crips car has back the lead again. Here is our orange car, also very, very close at the moment. With the RD SimSport car behind that BMW is, it looks crunched, but it is still as fast as P3 of its class. Definitely want to keep an eye out for, I think. As I thought that the Kiel Racing sign dropped off a bit there, but that was just a timing bug. Those are of course the leaders in GT3 AM. The ASR orange car getting closer to the RD SimSport. Of course, this is for second position. Up the inside now goes the Delta Motorsports 40 car. As I just saw there, I was just looking, but I see now that our man is in the way. Oh, that is not allowed, Marnix.
Oh shit! Sorry.
That is not allowed. Yeah, well, welcome, Marnix, to the stream, Marnix.
Thanks.
I want to first ask you a question. You are, of course, our race director and leader of the stewards. And my question to you is, what do you do as a race director slash steward in all the races?
Mostly we try to organize the races as safe as possible, to guide things as safe as it possibly could be. I mean, we are unable to predict what drivers will be doing, but we can make it as safe as we can, like making rules, showing them graphics what to do. For example, we make a special graphic where the starting zone is, with markers which they could use to see where the starting zone is. And then after that, we'll be just doing stewarding during the race, where drivers are always allowed to protest something or um, report something about the race, where we'll look into it. And then with a steward team, with an amazing steward team of Martin, Sven, Colin, and Jesse, where we look in every incident. And unfortunately, iRacing has this bug where at some points it just clips out, where we're unable to see things. But thanks to our drivers that are driving there, we ask them, we summon them to the stewarding channel, and then they're showing what actually happened, so we can actually do something about it, which we really appreciate. And then yeah, that's like my job, and I try to guide things into a good way.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty busy job during race weekends.
Exactly.
What has been the biggest problem, I don't want to say, but what has been the biggest issue kind of with, or in this race?
I mean, it's a short track and we have over 50 cars on track, maybe even more. And what you'll see with a short track is that everywhere there's traffic for everyone. There's no gap. I mean, there are gaps, but the max gap is like 5 seconds, and then there's already another car. So you'll see that there, or you asked what the most common thing is right here.
Yeah.
So you'll see that the traffic is like the hardest part for people, because some multi-class drivers are maybe a bit impatient and they are trying to find a way around them, but it goes all wrong, because people might misunderstand each other and take the wrong line because they think it's open, but then they close it. And I mean, those things happen, and we try to work around it and make the environment better as a race director.
Yeah, well, Marnix, what do you think are the racing standards like today? I've seen a couple of questionable things happening, but I think that was, of course, yeah, those few things, they happen, but I think apart from that, the racing standard has been very, very well.
I mean, I've jinxed it at the beginning that the start was actually really, really good. The first 2 laps were like with no incidents. I mean, there were 1 or 2. That's like not a lot at all. And the first corner was clean in all classes. But I told them in your chat, so it was actually clean. And then I've jinxed it because 2 laps later there was a big pile up in turn 1, which was unfortunate. But driver standing, in my opinion, has improved, but isn't there yet, in my opinion. But we'll do everything in our power to improve the driver standings, and we'll make another report about this race, like we did last race at Spa, to improve the driver standings and make them aware of what's coming around in the track and what's going on. And hopefully we can improve the driver standings even more, that we have a full clean race. I mean, we'll never have a full clean race, but we can aim for it and make the best out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta aim high. But
Sorry?
yeah, Marnix, I said you gotta aim high. You gotta set the
Exactly.
target high for yourself. But Marnix, the fact that you now have time to speak to me tells me that there was not a lot to do at this point in time.
I mean, it's been a bit calmer now, but we had to summon a lot, so that takes like a bit time for people to come to us. And I just wanted to get something to eat, because I've been at my desk since 9 AM, and then I've been eating a bit at 11, and then until now I didn't have the chance to eat. So I went eating and then I went here. So it's like really busy. So I have to take the whole day off.
Yeah, of course it is. It is a day job, this, of course. Endurance racing is not something you do for 2 hours. Of course, 2 hours is still an endurance race, but we at PAC have chosen to do some proper endurance races, do some proper long endurance races. 4 hours is the shortest one on the calendar.
Exactly. Yeah.
Around Interlagos. Yeah, but Monix, let's talk racing now.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have, of course, another hourly update sponsored by MS Drops coming up in 10 minutes time. GasX Racing Team, they have been in the lead for quite some while now. The gap there is decreasing. Is that because Mirko is saving fuel? I think it is because, of course, we heard that when we did go on board, but is it a good strategy then to save fuel? I think if you're losing that much time, as he is now.
If he's saving a pit stop, I mean, the pit stop is here around 25 seconds, I believe. And if he's saving that just a pit stop more than hashtag racing, then he'll save like 26 seconds and get ahead of it them again when they're pitting hashtag.
Yeah, but tell me how you're gonna save a pit stop in 4 hours.
I mean, sometimes you'll have to get in at the end, like for a splash and dash, like for only 10 minutes. And if you could save fuel
okay,
during
splash,
the full race, you can actually spare that pit stop out.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a very good call. I did not think about that yet. But of course, the splash and dash was something you have to always keep in mind. Of course, it isn't always like that. That it just the race develops in a way, and it isn't always that at the end of the race, with just pitting normally, you're gonna come across the line with like enough fuel left. So most of the times you have to go in and do a just splash and dash. Just put in 20 liters, or I don't know how. I think 75 liters is the max you can put in.
Yeah, and it's like 2.6 liters a lap.
Yeah. So then a splash and dash could be 15 liters, and if you can save that, that is big. That is something that I did not think about yet, but that is definitely something that you have to keep in mind. And I think they are working backwards, because that is what you or what most of the teams do in endurance racing when they want to have their strategy set. You work backwards, so you go from the end, and you go like, I need this pit stop, then this, and I have, or I end with this amount of fuel left, so I have to save that over the stints that I have before that.
Exactly. And then from that day away, you start working on the setup, on how much to do the tires. Maybe we can save a tire, like a triple stint instead of 2 stint. Sometimes, like for example, when a stint is half an hour and you have a 1.5 hour race, you're not going to do your tires at the second pit stop.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, because it's taking more time in the pits, and if you could save that, you might even throw a win away if you are changing those tires.
Yeah,
So
well,
yeah,
I think
strategy is really important.
Yeah, well, I think not changing tires at this race is, I think, not a plan, since I don't know where the track temperature is at the moment. We can look at that.
At 36 degrees currently. It started at like 52 degrees.
Yeah, it is at 36 degrees currently. So yeah, I think double stinting now is possible, but it's definitely earlier on in the race, double stinting was almost impossible with 52 or 53 degrees. That is not track temperature where you can double stint, I think.
No, I think it's quite hard to triple stint at Interlagos, especially as you said with the track temps and with the high-speed corners. It's highly. It will probably not appear that they will be trying to triple stint, but fuel saving is something that I think Mirko is currently doing, because the gap has come down to 3.7 seconds.
Yeah, here it is, the hashtag racing NMP2 car, of course.
Straight. There you have in the front there, yeah.
Yeah, that car has been in the front from the beginning of the race, really. It started at, or in pole position. Rui Queiroz was the fastest man in that car, but now Felipe Silveira is catching up to Mirko Bortolotti to try and regain that lead. A little bit further back in the field, the GT3 class is very close as well. The YS Motorsports car only 1 second back. from the Writer Engineering Esports car. This battle is for 13th and 12th in GT3 respectively. The Wise Motorsports car is in the AM class, so this is for position ahead of him in his class. There we can see it, the Writer Engineering Esports purple Lamborghini.
Wait, I am heading off back to the Super team. Thanks, Dan, for your time and your amazing commentary. Really looking forward to the rest of the season, and thanks all for tuning in. And Wednesday is the start of the actual TCR Championship. We'll be streaming that as well. So really looking forward to that as well. And if you want to sign up, make sure to go to our website and our Discord link. And hopefully we'll see you out on track. Exactly. And have a good one, Dan.
You too, man. Thank you for popping in, and I hope you won't have a busy time.
Thanks. Cheers. See ya.
See ya. Well, that is our head steward and our race director, and also the founder of Platinum Racing League. It's amazing to see what these guys achieved in the last few months. Of course, this championship was started from the ground up, taken over from Next Level, and then yeah, we really continue with it. Yeah, it seems like the drivers love it. A lot of people are tuning in. More than 180 people, I think, or 170 people were in for this race. So that tells something about the amount of people that make their, that just have their time off, and on their time off they just spend that time with us here at Platinum Racing League in the Platinum Endurance Championship on their free Saturday. So that is amazing to see, of course. And like Morning said, thanks to all the stewards, of course. Here it is, the battle for 12th position in the GT3s. This is the battle for 5th position in the GT3 AM classes. Some LMP traffic getting through the Mirko Bortolotti, getting a bit lucky there with traffic again. Eking out a little bit of time again on the hashtag Racing Team purple car. Ibach Sim Racing is under attack from the cardboard blue. They're going to try and go up the inside. Is this going to happen? He's on the outside, which is not the preferred line, but can he keep the inside? No, he can't. That is the position gained by cardboard blue. They are up into 6th position now. Platinum Racing Team LMP2 Blue are up into 4th position, only 1 position away from that podium spot, of course. But that podium spot is only 12 seconds away. Barry Oosterveer has really been hammering in those laps. He has been very, very consistent as well. Not the fastest, but he kept the car on the track. And he kept it out of miserable things, like damage. Winston wasn't able to do so. But for now, it looks like Perry Oosterveer is gonna be able to do so, which is always good. Perry Oosterveer's last lap was a 25.2. That was only 2/10 slower than our leader of the race, Mirko Bortolotti, that GasX Racing Team car. It'll be interesting to see when the pit stops are gonna take part. But now at the head of the field, as you see there, the Eibach car going around. The Eibach car was in 7th position on the at the time it spun. But this is the gap now between P1 and P2. Gap now 1.7 seconds. And I expect them to pit with like 20 minutes or 20 minutes past the hour. Platinum Racing Team Blue is in the pits though. They were always the first one to pit. As it's very, very busy here for Mirko Bortolotti. Where is he gonna find a way past all of this? He is there. 1.2 seconds is the gap now, but that gap is gonna widen a little bit, I think, with that traffic now. Yes, it is 1.6. Up the inside of turn 1 is Mirko Bortolotti there. And I think the leader of the .X Racing car, as we are into the last hour of the race, we'll keep on board with our leader of the race, Mirko Bortolotti, for a little bit. And I'll be back to you in just a second. Well, we are back with some exciting news. It's 3:10s between P1 and P2. Mirko Bortolotti really under attack. Is he going to go down the inside or is he going to stay behind? He is going to stay behind this time around. Yes, Andrew, it's definitely clutch time. Last hour of the race with the hourly update coming to you, sponsored by msdrops.nl. We'll run you through the order from top to bottom. GasX Racing Team is in the lead currently Just behind that we have hashtag Racing LMP2, very close between all of them now, or between those two. Then we have Delta Motorsports in third position in the LMP2 field. A little bit further back we have .X Racing Esports Red in their Porsche, leading the way in GTE Pro and in GTE overall. Astro Racing is in second overall there in their Porsche as well, and Orion Race Team Pack GTE is in third in Pro and overall as well. Then Crips Racing, they are in 8th overall and in first position in the GTE AM class. Then we have PM Esports in 9th position overall in that class, and they are second in the GTE AM. And iBox Sim Racing Team 1, they are in the pits at the moment. Don't know where they are. Oh, there they are. iBox Sim Racing Team 1. I think they are out of this race. They've been in the pits for 41 minutes. So I do not think that they will resume this race, sadly. A little bit further back then, it looks like it is iBox Sim Racing Team 4 still in the lead of the GT3 class and the GT3 Pro class. RD Sim Sports are in second overall there and in second in class. And Austin Sim Races Orange are in third overall and third in class there as well. Then we have Orion Race Team Pack GTE or GT3. They are in fourth in class and fourth overall. Then in 6th position overall we have Akil Racing Cyan. They are in first position in the GT3 AB class. And then it is Nick Kerstens currently still in that car. He has closed down that gap by 10 seconds over the course of the stint, but that is not going to be enough to catch him at the end of the race. But he is in second position overall. He's in second position in the GT3 AB class. And third in the GT3 AB class is the YS Motorsports blue car. Let's look at the head of the field. It looks like the hashtag Racing LMP2 car has been pitting. It's going to be very, very close on pit exit between those two guys, Mirko Bortolotti in that car. But how much longer can Mirko Bortolotti go is my question. He has to go until 3 minutes or 3 hours and 15 minutes to have a chance of saving in that last stint the amount of fuel that he needs to come across the line with absolutely 0 liters left, I think. But I do not think that that is going to happen. We'll stay with him until he comes out of the pit lane. Seems like the gap is 39 seconds. Of course, the pit lane here isn't too long, but that gap is coming down quite significantly. But of course, if he does save that pit stop, like Marnik said, this is all gonna be worth it. 50 minutes left in the 4 hours of Interlagos between the lakes in Brazil. And it has been a cracker of a race so far. That gap is coming down slowly but surely. It is going to be traffic that is going to decide who's going to come out ahead, I think. Ibex Sim Racing Team 4 are in for their last pit stop as well. Up the inside there goes Mirko Bortolotti. How much longer is he going to be able to go? Is he going to peel into the pit lane now? Yes, he is. Mirko Bortolotti into the pit lane now, and he's not going to be able to make that one until the end, I think. That is just a little bit too close. You're not going to be able to do 50 minutes on a fuel tank in an LMP2 car. Martin Stadtmann gets into that car to, I think, finish off this race. But where is the hashtag Racing LMP2 car? And it has gone past now. And they are still in the pits. And he is now leaving the pits. Gonna try and chase down 8 seconds. That is a big, big gap. Don't know why that was, but that is all in the pit stop. That gap. Those 10 seconds or 9 seconds are all in the pit stop. Pit lane time for hashtag Racing LMP2 last time round was 45 seconds or 45.5 seconds. Pit lane time for Gazak's Racing Team was 54.2 seconds last time. So there you have it, your 10 seconds. Mirko Bortolotti would have been fine. But I think those 10 seconds are tires. Because pit stop was 33 seconds. Which usually there are 50. I think that the hashtag Racing LMP2 car has short filled to get ahead of the GazX Racing Team car and to try and eke out a little bit of a lead. That is what I think, but that is strategy playing a part here. It's going to be very interesting. They've given them a fight till the end. Battle Racing Team LMP2 Blue are in 5th at the moment. Winston Eckel back in that car. Let's hope he won't get damaged this time round. Still no one in the waiting room for us at the moment. We'll look a little little bit further on into the field. .X Racing now making their pit stop. They fall behind Astro Racing. That was very, very close getting into pit lane. So I think that will be close exiting pit lane as well. Of course, without taking tires. They had a very big gap to Orion Race Team Pack GTE, so that should be all good to go. Rolf Müller is out of the pit again in second position. His time in pit lane was 1 minute and 2 seconds. Hit the gap to P1 now, 54 seconds. So technically, he should be able to make that. But the Astro Racing car is now into the pit lane. Let's see where he is gonna come out. I do expect that he's gonna come out behind him. Now into the last corner he goes. Rolf Müller, is he gonna come out ahead of the Astro Racing car? No, he is not. They are now exiting the pit lane. And that is going to be very, very close. I do not think that that is going to be enough. That is no way going to be enough. The gap is 16 seconds there. So that is, something has happened there on pit lane as well. The pit lane time from those two cars. Yes. That was exactly what happened. Pit lane time, 47 seconds for Astro Racing. I think that this car, .X Esports, changed tires as well. And I think that Astro Racing is doing a double stint. So those 16 seconds are going to be gone in a blink. RD Sim Sports has also pitted, I think. Well, I'm getting that RD Sim Sports have not pitted yet, and I think that is correct because Orion Race Team Pack GT3 did not pit as well. And the Ibex Sim Racing Team 4 car is also, oh, they have pitted, so I think after the pit stop cycle they will be ahead again. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, that gap has stabilized at 10 seconds. This is going to be one for the late pit stoppers. This is going to be drama till the end of the race, like we saw out at Spa as well. Yeah, that's what I thought as well, that they should be net P1. But we'll see. There is the team Kersten's car. In the field where I can see someone really fighting. This team, they should be in net second in the GT3 YS Motorsports Blue. They of course will have a shorter pit stop. It was close all the way with the team Kersten's car. Where is the team Kersten's car? I don't think they're gonna make it. I think Team Kersten's is down to second position in that class. No, they're not. There they go. Just past. Team Kersten's is up into second position again in that class, but it is Akil Racing Cyan that still has to pit. Gap is 5 seconds to the drivers behind Pepper Kerstens in that car again. We know we can keep that car on track. This is going to be one to look out for as well. The top two of the GT3, I think for the first position, that is all settled. That was 30 seconds, so if nothing happens, nothing weird happens, that is, I think, settled. Okay, so some people did not take tires. I'm getting to hear now that That is interesting strategies. Yes, that is just that last pit stop. Very, very interesting strategies. Austin Sim Races Orange, they are currently in the lead still. I think if you have to take tires now and you still have to pit ASR Red, I think I wouldn't take tires as well, because taking tires now is going to cost you a lot. You've saved a lot of fuel. And you've done that for one reason. Akil Racing Cyan into the pits now. That gap before was 30 seconds between Team Kerstens and Akil Racing Cyan. I expect it to be a little bit bigger now. They are out of the pits already. Here is your GT3 AM leader. Here is Digital Spirit DS Racing. There they are. Team Kerstens can't really get to P1 in that class anymore, I think. Getting swarmed now by a lot of cars. Horizon Sim Racing into the pit lane as well. Hashtag Racing LMP. So they have eked out that lead a little bit on the GazX Racing Team car. That is going to be an interesting one for the later stages of this race. That gap keeps growing and growing and growing. Astro Racing still ahead of .X Racing. I did not expect that. I think Astro Racing has not taken tires. Orion Race Team Pack GTE are eating into that lead. 2.5 seconds is the gap to P2 for them now. He's now, I think, gonna peel into the pit lane. No, he is not. He faked me there for a second. Austin Sim Races Orange still leading the GT3 class. And I think that is a legit lead because he couldn't have saved half an hour in 3 hours. But half an hour left in this 4 hours of Interlagos. For the people who don't know, that means between the lakes. Said that about 1,000 times today. But it is Marcus Rima for Austrian Sim Racers Orange in the lead of the GT3 class overall and in the Pro class as well. Crips Racing, where are they? They're currently still in the lead by a lap of the GTE Amfield. So they're looking to get their second win of the season under their belts and get a pretty good lead early on. Of course, this is one of the easier races to win. This is one of the shorter ones. Here he is again. Monix Heister was in the waiting room, as impatient as he is.
Always.
Monix, welcome again to the stream. It looks like it
Thanks.
isn't really busy for you.
Things actually calm down. Let's not jinx it, but hopefully it will stay that way. And yeah, let's see if it stays that way. I hope so, though.
Yeah, we have some beautiful racing going on track at the moment. Some beautiful strategies, or a lot of different strategies taking place at the same time. Kind of losing track of it, but we have drivers in GT3 taking tires and drivers not taking tires. That's why iBox Sim Racing Team 4 is now in 5th position. They were leading that class, but they did take tires, so they are looking to work their way through the field in the next half an hour on those fresh rubbers.
Yeah.
RD Sim Sports, they've been at the top of that GT3 pile for I don't know how long, and they're now looking to overtake Orion Race Team Pack GT3. 7/10 that gap is. It was quiet for a little while, but then all of a sudden it kicks off and you have fighting all over the track again.
I mean, it's amazing that you see that the strategy actually evolves and into more fighting, even though we are 3.5 hours into the race.
Yeah, well, you always have that point that the race is just unfolding. It's strategies are being thrown in the bin. New strategies are taken out of ahead. They're like, now this is our strategy. And you have to do that like in a race of 4 hours. You have to do like 5 or 6 times usually, because the things you plan at the beginning of a 4-hour race, they're gone after 2 minutes. That's the thing. But yeah, of course, you always have a point in the race where it is a little bit more quiet, and now we have fighting going on track again. This gap now down to less than half of a second between RD Simsport and Orion Race Team. BMW seems to be a car that is working really well on this track, especially the GTE car, the T3 Motorsport. They have been in the top 4 for like the whole race. Now onto the straight, 2/10 is the gap. We saw that this is usually not close enough by the end of the straight, or you have to launch it up the inside. Is he going to do so? He's going to pull out of the slipstream up the inside of turn 1. And that is gonna give
Nice
him
move.
the position. And that is kind of like... It's a move that we've seen a lot of times
It's
today.
from the textbook. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
from the textbook at Interlagos, diving down the inside, getting the run out of the Senna S's, and then going to the straight, hoping that the car behind doesn't get the slipstream on you and then drive away. I mean, it's a textbook at Interlagos.
Yeah, well, the line at the first corner, it goes straight for so long that diving down the inside, you have a shorter line, so you will be ahead at the apex. But the thing is, you will have less apex speed. So like Morning said, of course, it's you just have to hope that you, you do get a good run out of the Senna S's. But big news, the track is getting fast, everyone. Winston Eckel posting the fastest lap time of the race. Last lap, a 1:23.44. He is 5 seconds behind the Delta Motorsports car. And they are 7/10 behind the Rapid E-Racing Team Purple car. So Podium is definitely still on for all of those 3 drivers.
I think we have someone in the waiting room, Justin Vanderlyn of the Rapid E-Racing Team Orange and Team Purple.
Well, we'll get him in. Justin, welcome.
Oh no. Sorry, this is the wrong channel. Sorry.
No
worries.
worries.
No worries, you can talk to us.
Yeah.
You can still talk to us.
I see
Yeah.
that there was an incident. Maybe you can talk with us about the incident that happened on stream. What happened?
You mean with this GT3 car or?
I see that you've just posted with the
Yeah.
Writer Engineering 79.
Yeah. This more about we were just right behind them all the time. They have blue flags at the time, but they were ignoring them.
Blue flag.
Yeah. So we were like, wait, we're fighting for a position. Please go away.
But he's in the same class, right?
Yeah, he's in the same class.
I
But
don't
he's-
want to bother though, but it's
Yeah.
always to have a good fight. Although we have the rules where faster cars have to find a way around slower cars, and of course blocking is never allowed. Although slower cars need to stay on the racing line and prevent any unpredictable and late moves, and the faster car has to find that way around it. And the same counts for the blue flags within your own class. So I mean, it's frustrating, but that's kind of like in IMSA as well, where it's up to the driver where they can decide to go out of the way or just continue because they also have their own fight. I mean, it's understandable for you that it's frustrating. But it's
yeah,
also
because we lost like 8 seconds.
yeah, that's
No.
that's a lot. That's a lot though. I mean, so
Yeah.
once it gets blocking, then it's actually getting
Then you
unacceptable.
Can, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then I know enough. Then I will go to the other waiting room. Thanks.
Alrighty, good luck.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Yeah, well, Monix said it correctly, but just to say to the viewers in an easy way, it is okay for a car that has shown a blue flag to stay ahead of them until the point that they go for a move, and then they fight that move. That is not allowed by the rules.
Exactly. Whilst there is a move with Delta Motorsport and Rapid E-Racing, did I just got passed? Oh wait, that's old. I'm looking at the stream. That's old. Anyway, my bad. What did you say, Dan? What did you say, Dan?
Yeah, the thing is, you can fight a faster car if you want to. The thing is, it's gonna lose you time and it's gonna lose them time. For them it's frustrating,
Exactly.
for you it's also frustrating. You have your own fight, but you are allowed to. The thing you're not allowed to do is if the faster car puts it up the inside and it's not a ridiculous dive from 5 miles back, but it is a genuine move to get past, you can't fight that move because you are a blue flag car, so you can't fight them, but you can keep ahead of them.
Exactly. I mean, it would be even smarter if you're working together, where you let them pass and then try to get in the draft and make use of the slipstream. I mean, it's as you said, it will only stop you from getting past. Whilst Platinum Racing Team Blue is really close on the ass of Delta Motorsport LMP2 car, with Winston Eckel into the Platinum Racing Team Blue car.
Up the inside.
Making down the inside, yeah. Going to turn
That's going
4.
to be moved on, I think. That is a smart decision by using that Delta Motorsport 40 car by Sam Bantman. That is a smart decision to make. Of course, trying to go
And
with
defending a bit.
Winston to the Rapid E-Racing Team purple car.
Yeah.
Although
I
he
mean,
is gonna lose in
we're
traffic.
talking about the blue flags, of course, and I mean, it would even be better if they will make advantage of each other, that the slower car let the faster car pass, because at the end, he will get passed. Doesn't matter, unless it's only like 10 minutes of racing left. Although, there is no point of fighting someone when you're way slower, and you could actually benefit from them if you let them pass. And then use a bit of their slipstream and use a bit of their lines, of their techniques, so you get actually together forward.
Yeah, and I think that is exactly what Sam has done here. Although that is, I wanted to say that is not really working, but it is working now since he's back into the slipstream. Winston also has a little bit of traffic here at the wrong time, but I want to talk about the fight at the front. It has been
That's because-
hashtag racing LMP2 into the pit lane. Their pit stop time was 16 seconds, but the thing is, the GasX Racing Team car was 15 seconds behind.
And it's only 1 second. I think that's just because of the fuel saving. I don't know. I don't think GasX has to pit again, or maybe they have to just for a little bit of fuel. But I don't think, and I don't hope for them that they have to pit. But it's so close between
Something
them
has happened.
all race long. Yeah, exactly.
Something has happened with that GasX car. I don't really know what. I can try and find it, see if I can find what happened. But I think there has been some kind of spin
I'm
or
looking at
crash.
lap times. I don't see anything in the lap times though. The last lap I've pitted was in lap 133.
Yes.
That was 20 laps ago. And I don't know how much you can do on one stint. Let's see.
Not
you can do
not-
that 40
not 50
laps.
minutes, not 50 minutes.
No, I think they have to stop again. They maybe miscalculated the strategy.
Yeah, but the fact is, they were 7 seconds behind when I looked at them like, what was it? 10, 15 minutes ago? Yeah, 10 minutes ago. And now they were more than 35 seconds behind. Because the pit lap or the pit lane time from hashtag Racing Team LMP2 was 35 seconds, and they are still ahead. I don't think that is just pure on fuel saving.
Yeah, maybe because of also a bit of tire saving, or maybe they just want to go get to the end.
Yeah, it could be, but they have a lap ahead of Rapid E-Racing, so they have no pressure from behind. It's a mystery.
Yeah, but it's also points, hey? Risk, or maybe they have a high X amount, because the X amount limit is only 30, and then you get a drive-through. And maybe they want to prevent getting that extra off track by driving, that they have to be a bit more cautious when they on the exit, when they make a mistake, for example, that they are being really cautious.
That is also still an option. We have some fighting further down the field. It's Team Kerstens at the moment still ahead of YS Motorsports Blue. This is a fight for second position in the GT3 AM class. And it's been Team Kerstens who have been in that position for quite some time now.
It's good seeing them back up there. I mean, they've started a while ago in our PRL sprint series with a little experience, and starting with the two family Kerstens, like Nick and Pepe, both dad and son. And I mean, they've been growing and growing massively together, where they are almost fighting for second into the GT3 AM class, which is amazing to see that they've grown massively. And also seeing an American driver in our European series at the European times. I mean, what time is it there? It's 10 o'clock. Imagine what time it actually started today.
Yeah. At around
Props to
6.
that. Exactly. Props to that, man.
Yeah, that is early. But I mean, if you want to race at this level, you gotta have something for it. And I mean, starting at 6 is not too bad. But of course, races. I think this was a late starter. Normally we start at 12.
No, we always start on 1. We have the qualifying starting at 12. So
that's a
because
mistake from me
we
then.
have the longest race is 12 hours, and we don't want to end it like deep into the night. And yeah, we've always had the same.
Okay.
Even though we had just 2 rounds.
Yeah, well, that is 6 is still early. Don't get me wrong. But we have the Platinum Racing Team LMP2 car. They just pitted, so they don't have to pit anymore. It's the Rapid E-Racing Team, a purple car in the pits now.
I'll be right back though.
Yes, it's the Rapid E-Racing Team purple car in the pits now. They're leaving now. This is going to be very, very close on the pit exit. Is he going to make it though is my question. He has of course a shorter line, but this is going to be very, very close between Delta Motorsports, Rapid E-Racing Team purple and Platinum Racing Team LMP2 blue. The gap is 1.8 seconds. And it's Winston Ack who can fully focus now ahead to Marco Kuus. Oh, getting some traffic in some difficult positions. Oh, putting himself on the penalty spot there on the outside. As we have 15 minutes left in this race. And the gap for P3 in the GTEs is less than a second. They are now side by side. And this is the 111 car trying to overtake the .X Esports red car. They've fallen really, really far back. Now into the slipstream is the Orion Race Team Pack GTE. Is he going to be able to make a move down the inside here? The inside is going to be defended. So he will get the better run if he can keep it around the outside, but he can't. Like we said, the inside is so powerful here at Interlagos. And now side by side then on the back straight. He's going to have to go around the outside again. That is not going to work, but up the inside, the switchback does work, and now he finally is passed. And he can chase down chase down Astro Racing as well. Rapid E-Racing, Team Purple, right on the back. Is Platinum Racing Team LMP2 Blue. Winston Echo, what can he do? The car out of them, Delta Motorsports 40 still has to pit, I think. Or don't they? I do think they still have to pit. Either way, 7/10 is the gap. Winston Eccles now into the slipstream. Can he get closer? Yes, he can. Of course, due to that slipstream. But now I think next lap will be the lap that Winston Eccles gets a chance to attack the Rapid E-Racing Team Purple car from Marco. Ten minutes left in this race. I know, Andrew, you have a lot of fights going on at the moment. Okay, so Delta has pitted, so this is the fight for fourth, because I don't think they will catch up. 22 seconds. Never say never, but in 9 minutes I don't think that is going to be possible. Five tenths is the gap. If Winston Eccles can stay this close until the main straight, he will have a very good chance in that slipstream. And he gets even closer coming the last corner. The exit is better from the Rapid E-Racing Team Purple car, but now Winston Eccles, he can gain now 4 tenths is the gap. Coming down rapidly. Is he going to go down the inside, braking for T1? He does get closer now, and he is all over the back, almost in his gearbox. Because traffic got at the wrong time there. 2 tenths is the gap. Up the inside he's going to go. He is going to keep the inside line. Is he going to try it into turn 4? Yes, he is. There he is, down the inside. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Is the switchback going to work? No, it isn't. Winston Eccles is up into 4th position with only 8 minutes to go in this race. He's going to try and go around the outside here. And he did make that work. Great move there by Winston Eccles. But this is not over yet. Now it seems like Winston Eccles has that clear air. And Dodax hanging on for dear life to Orion Racing Pack GTE. But it's very close in GT3 as well. It is iBox Sim Racing Team 4 behind Orion Race Team Pack GTE or GT3. After 3 hours of racing, these guys are so close. Looks like Ibach has the best papers here to get past. Also, it's .X Racing Esports Red attacking Orion Race Team. But we have so much fighting going on, and we're going to stay with this. There is the blue car, the Platinum Racing Team blue car in 4th position. They are getting though rapidly. That gap is down to 20 seconds. Let's look then at the .X Racing Team red car. Not giving an inch to that Reiter Engineering Esports car in 11th. They now have an LMP2 car in between them. That's now the Orion Race Team Pack GT3 car. Is right up the back of the Fields Academy Motorsports car. The gap is less than 2 tenths. He's going to try it in the middle sector. Not really, but he is very, very close. If he can keep it this close till the main straight, then he will have a very good chance there of overtaking at the end of it. But can he do so? The exit will tell us everything. The exit is good. The exit is better than the Fields Academy Motorsports car. But 3 tenths is, I think, a little bit too much. As he is going to go down the inside into T1. Does he get that position? He keeps the inside the Fields Academy Motorsports car. Oh, a drift there. And that is going to lose him a couple of positions. And the Albert car gets past as well with the LMP2. And is that LMP2 spun around there? No, it isn't. It looked like for a second that LMP2 was spun around. .X Racing Red still behind them though. They had a very good chance down the straight, but that is not going to happen yet. Orion Race Team Pack GT3. Here they are up the back of the iBox Sim Racing Team 4 car. They are looking to just get into that podium position. They got done purely on strategy by RD Sim Sports. Austrian Sim Racers Orange also better on strategy. Fields Academy Motorsports currently also better on strategy. Like we said, Gazak still had to pit, so they are now out of pit lane. We thought for a second the Delta was all good, but Delta now, they did have to pit. Didn't they? No, they did not. Never mind. I'm hopping up things that are not there. As we have now 2 minutes and a lap left in this race. 3 wide here. The iBox Sim Racing Team car are going to go up the inside of the 111 car. This is not for position. And this is going to help the .X Racing car as well to get closer once again. Where is our leader currently at? Hashtag Sim Racing LMP2. Here they are. They are going to start the last lap next lap. There isn't another lap in it. This is Felipe Silveira starting the last lap. One last time through the Senna S's. The gap to the Gazax Racing Team is 31.5 seconds. Of course, they had to pit. They could never do 50 minutes on one fuel tank, but it was close. 45 minutes they would have gotten there, like I said, but 50 minutes is just a little bit too much. So they are outdone on strategy, really, because I think they had the outright pace over these guys, but they had to fuel save massively. Here he is then, Felipe Silveira is gonna come across the line in a minute to win the 4 hours of Interlagos. And it is gonna be, I think, Akil Racing Side first one across the line. Here they are into the last corner. There you go. The leaders of the GT3 AM class. And just behind them we have the leaders of our GT3 Pro class. And just ahead of that we have our... Here they are, the winners of the GT3 AM class. Then we have Chris Racing coming across the line as well. And we have here RD Sim Sports, our winners of the GT3 Pro class. And our winners of the GTE Pro class are Astro Racing. They have won the GTE Pro class. Wow. Those 4 hours went very, very quickly. It is Gazax Racing Team in second position. Then it is Team Kerstens, I think, in second position in the GT3 AM class. So congrats to them. Akil Racing Cyan. They won. Here are the donuts. Wow. Well then, here is the result on your screen. Here we have it. Hashtag Racing LMP2 are our winners of the 4 hours of Interlagos. Which means between the lakes, Gazax Racing Team is second. Third is the Delta Motorsports 40 car. Congrats to all of those three. Fourth, Platinum Racing Team, LMP2 Blue. Of course, they had a brilliant fight back after their damage in the early stages of the race. Then Rapid E Racing Team Purple in 5th, 6th Cardboard Blue, 7th Ibox Sim Racing Team 3, 8th is Z Challenger Goliath Racing GoPro. 9th, Horizon Sim Racing. 10th is Austrian Sim Racers Blue. Then 11th is the Rifa Engineering Esports Red. And winning the GTE Pro class is Astro Racing. They finish ahead of Orion Racing Pack GTE and .x Esports Red. Then winning the GTE AM class is Crips Racing. Behind that, it is PM Esports as the last of our finishers. So only a top 2 there. Then we go on to the GT3 Pro class. RD Sim Sport win there ahead of the Austrian Sim Racers orange car. Fields Academy Motorsports comes 3rd there. Akil Racing Cyan finishes 27th overall, but 1st in the GT3 AM class. 2nd in the GT3 AM class is Team Kerstens. Pepe Kerstens and Nick Kerstens have done a brilliant job keeping that car there where it was. And ERC, powered by FSP TUV Rhineland Yellow, finish in 3rd position there. We'll just go over the full screen then. Over all our drivers, also the people that did not finish. Well then, wow. Wow, I mean, what can we say? It's amazing to see all these drivers so close together, of course, in the field after 4 hours. It's so close. And I think we'll get our first interview in here. Nick is in here. Nick, welcome.
Yes.
Nick,
Hello.
you guys must be very happy with that 2nd place in the GT3 AM class.
Of course.
Yeah, well, tell us about the race went.
Overall, it went really good. Some downfalls here and there. I got hit by LMP2 car. And our steering went, yeah,
Offset.
it just offset, yeah. So it was a little hard to drive the last 2 stints, but we still managed to pull it off. So yeah, we're very happy.
Yeah. Well, of course, you guys were under attack in the closing stages from the YS Motorsports blue car, but you managed to keep them behind. Tell us how the last minutes of the race were for you, since you were not in the car.
Exciting, and I was on the edge of my seat. So yeah, it was quite the experience.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, Nick, congrats on the amazing result, and congrats to the team, and thank you for taking part again in the Platinum Endurance Championship, and thank you for the interview.
Yes.
Well then, that is the only one I can see in the waiting room. So yeah, we'll close it off there then, since no one is in the waiting room anymore. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. It's been amazing to see. The races have been amazing, and I hope to see every one of you back for the next race as well in a month time. Yeah, crazy result again, close till the last minute in so many classes. We didn't know where to watch, but yeah, if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, check our website, check our Discord in the link in the description, and yeah, until next month, we'll see you then, and hopefully you are with us then again. Until then, enjoy yourself, and we'll see you on Wednesday